Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another review, and today I have the Orei UHDS-108 8-port HDMI splitter. This product makes it incredibly easy for you to share a single HDMI media source with up to 8 monitors simultaneously. The product fully supports 4K ultra high definition media and will even downscale if needed if you're using older 1080p monitors. The product is also HDCP 2.2 compliance, which means copy protection is going to work perfectly fine between your media device and your monitors, and it even supports HDR media. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with an unboxing of the product first, just to show you all the components that are included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at the splitter itself and explain the connections that you'll need to make to use it with your own equipment, and then I'll come back and point out a few key things that really separate this from other 8-port splitters on the market. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you pop open the box, you'll find the splitter. You'll find a 12-volt DC power supply. You'll plug this end into the wall. The other end has a barrel connection on it with a locking collar. You'll plug that in and finger tighten the collar, and that's all the power you'll need for the unit. You'll find a warranty card and a full instruction manual that lists diagrams, specifications, and other information you'll need to understand to use this with your equipment. Now, if you stay tuned, I'll take a closer look at the splitter, and then I'll come back with some of the things that really separate it from other splitters on the market. The HDMI splitter module features a full metal enclosure, which really helps to reduce outside interference from causing any issues with the electronics inside. On the front of the unit, you'll see a series of LED indicators starting on the left with a power indicator. The minute you add power to the unit, it'll start an internal power on self-test where it's checking all the internal electronics to make sure they're working okay. It's also checking the input resolution of your media device and the output resolution of all your monitors to make whatever adjustments are needed to give you the best possible picture. Once it passes that power on self-test, it'll light this LED letting you know it's ready to use. The other indicators are output indicators for the monitors or display devices that you'll connect to the outputs on the back, and I'll show you those in a minute. Once it verifies that connection is good, it'll light the LED letting you know that monitor's connected. To the right of that is a service port. It's a micro USB port, and that's used for pushing firmware to the unit if it's needed later on. Oftentimes there are updates to the features and functions of the unit, and that'll require you to move a firmware file to the unit to update that product. And you'll do that by connecting a micro USB cable from here to your computer, move the file to the unit to do the update. To the right of that is the EDIT switch. You'll normally leave that in the TV position, and that will mirror whatever input resolution you've got across the monitors. If you move it to standard, it's going to actually force all the monitors down to a 1080p resolution. So normally leave it on TV. If you're having issues, push it over to standard, and that should correct those issues for you. And that's fully explained in the manual. You'll also find ventilation slots in the side of the unit, and that's to keep the electronics inside at a comfortable temperature. On the rear of the unit are all your HDMI connections, HDMI out 1 all the way through 8, and HDMI input. The HDMI input goes to your media device, and your monitors connect up here, and you can connect up as many monitors as you'd like, up to 8. To the right of that is the DC input power port. You'll use the included power supply, plug one end into the wall, the other barrel connection end goes in here, and you'll finger tighten that collar to make sure it doesn't pop out. And that's really all you need to know about the module. I hope you found that overview helpful, and now I'd like to point out a few key things that really separate this product from a lot of other 8-port HDMI splitters on the market. And the first one has to do with its support for full 4K ultra high definition media content at both the input and the output. A lot of the splitters on the market will allow you to connect them up to a 4K media device, but then they downscale the video to 1080p when they connect up to the monitors, no matter what kind of monitor you're using. And that's a problem because you're not viewing that content at its original resolution. This one is smart enough to check the input resolution of your media device and also check the output resolution of all the monitors, and it'll downscale as needed if you're using older monitors. But if you've got a 4K media device and 4K monitors, it'll pass the content along at full resolution so you have the best possible picture. Another key thing to compare is the HDCP level, which has to do with copy protection. This is a 2.2 compliant device, which means it's got the latest copy protection built in, and that's important because if your media device is 2.2 and your monitors are 2.2, and you've got another switch that's only HDCP 1.4 compliant, that doesn't support 4K, so that'll downscale the video again to 1080p, and in some cases you won't even be able to see the video. So the fact that it's 2.2 compliant means that it's compatible with all modern media devices as well as modern monitors. The last thing I want to point out is the HDR support. That's becoming extremely popular on a lot of media content today. This will pass HDR content along to those monitors as well. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So I hope you enjoyed this clip, and until next time, thanks for watching.